I had scheduled this for like 1 p.m. However, I did not really finish in time with someone that I was assisting. So and then I had to check in at home, but I know this is a tricky time, but I wanted to do this live for Black History Month. So good afternoon again. Welcome for those who will be catching the replay. I certainly appreciate it, but as I said, I wanted to get started with this live. I hope you all are having a great day. So as you all see the topic, let's because it's Black History Month, let's celebrate Black here in history, and how that sort of moved from ancient days in Africa to now present day. So let me see if I could pull it up, but I was looking at welcome Bud Files, happy to have you. So as I was saying, I'll be speaking on since it's Black History Month and I'm really into like hair care and the revolution of just black hair and how the culture has progressed since ancient days or since slavery. So earlier I was looking at, I'm gonna flip my screen, show you on the computer. Earlier I was looking at like traditional African hairstyles and how it has progressed from now since then until now, right? So these are the hairstyles that some of our African ancestors used to wear. For those who are of Black descent or African descent, oh, welcome in Bible Quiz channel. Happy to have you at this time. Welcome in. So I'm talking about I'm trying to tie in for Black History Month, since this is something that I've always wanted to do for my YouTube channel. And so since I'm not able to do like a video right now, I said, let me do a video on the revolution or evolution of Black hair in history, and what better month to do it than February. So just a little history, right? So African hairstyles today is deeply influenced by our African ancestors, for those who are of Black descent. Braids were like these were the most prominent styles in parts of Africa, and we could see it today that it is still today, or they're still today worn by many Black women, people of other cultures. I'll be highlighting Black History month tomorrow as well. That's great. I think last year for my Black History Month, or I don't remember if it's last year, but I did one on just Jamaican culture, and this year I'm like, what am I gonna talk about? So I said I would tie in just the evolution of hair care and how that came about. So I found it very interesting even during my research. I've been in research for like black hairstyles before. And so braids are one of the most prominent, were one of the most prominent back then, and still is now. A lot of people wear braids. We see in the Caribbean, I see here in the US, especially in New York, like it's a melting pot. So it's like a lot of people wear braids, whether they put in some sort of hair or they braid or cornrow their own hair. So back then, braids were very significant in that most were braids for like tribal identity. They wore it to signify marital status, like if they were married or not. It also signified wealth or social status. And even during slavery days, right, they would like braid their hairs. Africans would braid their hairs into different styles, and like it had like a code. Isn't this interesting? And when I look at the history, I'm like, Black people are so like talented and so smart. Like this hairstyle could be a code, like, you know, it represents something. And you know, it's just fascinating to me how all this came about, and still today it's being done, even if it's like slightly different. But many people are bringing back some of these hairstyles that ancestors wore. Hello, welcome in, Frugal Mama, happy to have you. I'm just talking about the history of black hair and how it have evolved into what it is today. So my next point, of course, like other styles like bantu knots, cornrows, and afros, like those were popping after a while as well. So yeah, those were just interesting to see. Okay, so back to begin, I will start from, of course, the transatlantic slave trade. So this is one of the reasons why I said, oh my God, I feel excited to like cover this, because as I said, Black History or Black History Month means a lot to me in more ways than one. So Africans were forced during the transatlantic trade or slave trade. Africans were forced to abandon their traditional hairstyles, right? So that stripped them of some aspects of their identity. So imagine someone forcing you to do something that, that's your culture, that's what you grew up knowing, and now you're told to, like, stop doing that. Thanks so much, Enrich Locks. I know, I'm excited. I've had this idea for the longest, so I'm glad I had the opportunity to do this. Thanks for supporting this. So during slavery, some would still, speaking of people like Rosa Parks, like she stood up in that bus. Like, she wouldn't move. And so it takes people who have that sort of spirit that does not easily conform, when they know that this is a part of them, their culture is a part of them. And so you had some slaves during the transatlantic slave trade that, even though it was forbidden, some of them, as I mentioned before, they would braid their hairs into styles that created complex patterns, according to research. And I could see this in some of the pictures. They would braid their hair into complex patterns for that would actually equal to escape routes or important information that only other Black slave tribes would understand. And so they were able to escape certain slave masters or locations at the time. And as I said, that is very brilliant. That's very smart. Black people are very smart to have those qualities. And, that proves to show that we can do anything and we can rise above anything, right? Because our ancestors were fighters. They didn't give up easily. So I wanted to highlight this. So I have jottings here and this is like kind of bittersweet for me, because it says in the early 20th century, you had the straightening. Give me a second, sorry. Okay, thanks so much. Yeah, so that's why sometimes like having your break in the office is like okay. But let's get back to it. So, as I was saying, in the early 20 in the early 20th century, we had something called the straightening ideal, or quote unquote good hair ideal. Now, for me, and I think those are things coming back, are coming from slavery, because the idea of good hair coming about. Hi Tamara, welcome in. The idea, okay, cool. Thanks so much. The idea of good hair, or me too, Tamara. I'm trying to do a live during break. So the idea of good hair, or this person having good hair or that person having bad hair, just because of the texture, or they're black, or the idea around that. Thanks so much. You're making me blush. Okay, so the straightening and the good hair ideal. So this was when Western beauty standards began to influence African Americans to straighten their hair so it could appear more acceptable, quote unquote, right? Because before, um, for even now, today we see some of that. Like, if you like, for me, I wear my natural hair to work. I embrace my natural hair. That's a part of my self-care and culture. Many people in New York as well. Let me show Tamara. Um, I'm just talking about braiding, and where the culture is coming from and where we are today, right? So during the 20th century, a lot of people were influenced by these beauty standards that those slave masters and people in higher status and the Western world wanted Africans and black people to look down on themselves, look down on their hair, their features. Like, I embrace every feature that I have. Like, it goes back to, some people are not religious, but I am, and I always refer back to this scripture, right? You're fearfully and wonderfully made. So when you were being constructed, hello, there were no mistakes. Like, people, I remember this last live I had where I was doing my twist out, and for some reason, someone in the chat, someone just came in the chat. They didn't say hello. Of course, trolls. They didn't say hello or anything. They're like, oh, what a big forehead. And I'm like, you could go back and view. And I'm like, I just kissed my hand, and I'm like, I placed it on my forehead. And I'm like, I embrace it, right? Some people, and I don't think it's huge, it complements my features, but I just use it as example to say a lot of people, black people, have insecurities because of these things, what they were taught and brainwashed, that having full lips Exactly. Thank you, Tamara. I just think they were being, um, as I said, people like to body shame when they themselves are going through those sort of things, right? Yeah, we definitely have to know where we are. And if we don't know where we're coming from at times, we don't get who we truly are. And that's where self-care and self-love comes in, especially for those of us who, mothers or mother figures who have girls. We have to teach them to embrace what they have. Like, it's okay if you want to add what you want to your hair, or if you want to wear makeup, or if you want to do things to complement what you have. But at the same time, you have to be comfortable within your own skin, because what if you don't have these things? What if you don't have makeup? What if you don't have things to add to the hair? And believe it or not, I'll see people with, elaborate hairstyles and all these things. But sometimes when they take down that those things, and you see the natural hair, the natural features, it's just amazing. It looks good, right? So during the early 20th century, that was where the good hair ideal came about. And everyone, even in the Caribbean, they had things like jerry curls, perms, because when I look back, I used to perm my hair too back then. And then when I did my research and stuff, a lot of these perms were actually causing skin cancer. And so it was all about, money making. It's all about getting people, as I said again, black people, to deviate from their culture, and for them to have or buy these things. We look even into the revolution here, even for, with me coming to work with my natural hair. There were people who fight for these things. Before, a lot of people could not wear their natural hair or not have it straightened, or they couldn't wear certain afro. And maybe some states I used to perm as well. Yes, Tamara, we're not informed. Yeah, we're not. Our natural hair and our natural features, like black people is so beautiful. Everyone is beautiful, but I'm just saying, I'm speaking towards my community right now, because as I said, there are other, I won't say, I'll just say, there are other races who are going to these doctors. They're getting injections in their lips to make it fuller. That's what I have. That's what they want. But before, they're they have brainwashed some of us to think, oh, our features are not good. We shouldn't love ourselves. Getting like nose jobs and all those things, when they're going to places, having to even be in the sun for hours or a few hours just to get even a certain um, skin color. So, like, this is what we have: melanin. That's like the pigmentation in your skin. It protects you as well from cancer and all these things that a lot of races are prone to skin cancer just by going in the sun. So, like, there's so much in this, and as I said, I wanted to do like a video, but I'm not back at doing videos as yet. So I said this would be a great live idea to bring in Black history with the journey of natural hair or natural hairstyles. So we see, Tamara, you do hair, right? A lot of African hairstyles that we see today, and they seem new when you do the research. Like, it's not new. It's been recycled, like similar styles come back because now Black people, other culture, I see here they have locks, they have bantu knots, they have cornrows, and some people here might be too curly for certain styles, and they're like doing it. They want to be of our culture. And so, like, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. It really pays to know where you're coming from, and it really pays to teach our children like where we're coming from and who we are. Like, I'm Jamaican. I cannot be in a household and not introduce my kids to like the culture, the food, the hair, like different things, the language. It just gives them a sense of identity and shows them where they're coming from. So again, just to recap, because this is my break and I have to feed myself and baby as well. But I don't know, I might continue. I don't know. Yes, enjoy. For those who will be catching the replay, leave your comments, leave your thoughts. Yeah, this I think is very relevant, because yes, I'm gonna try and make a video. This is very relevant in Black history when it comes to hair and culture in general. So something that you're enjoying, your ancestors fought for it, most died for it, having to work in certain places, having to wear certain hairstyles to work. Like before, yeah, where I'm sitting, yeah, I could not come in with natural curly hair. It had to be straightened or permed. So I am very grateful for my ancestors, and so I embrace my culture. I embrace my natural hair, my natural features, my color, my skin color, everything. You know, it's a good thing to take time out to get to know oneself and to love yourself and to know who actually made you. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. Every single part. Every single part. So I thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate your time and support. Much love and blessings to you all. Much love and blessings. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your lunch. Enjoy your lunch, enjoy your break, enjoy your time off, whatever you're doing. Okay, so one love and blessings. The Bible Quiz channel advertised that they'll be having something as well for Black History Month. You could check out their channel as well, the Bible Quiz channel. Thanks so much and have a great one. Bye.